if someone had told me I would do that, I would have laughed at their face. I would have said, you don't know me. I don't do those things. I went to his house. Everybody knew me in my neighborhood. I was very vocal about my faith. I could go to Tony's house and nobody knew me. So that was my first compromise, because I was setting myself up to be in secret. When I got married very young to my high school sweetheart. When we got married, I was 18, and I had read a lot of romance books, and I would say too many romance books. And so I thought it was going to be like that. You meet, you fall in love, you marry, and off you go to this happily ever after world. And I quickly found out after I got married that wasn't going to be my life. I thought all that hard work, I was going to have this wonderful marriage in the end. And it didn't happen. It ended up being a divorce. And I was devastated. I was devastated. I couldn't believe that God would allow me to go through that kind of disappointment again. And that's when I was on shaky ground. I decided I was going to be alone, and I was questioning God. Why was this going on? And I thought I was in a good place. I thought I was pretty strong. I decided I wasn't going to go date anyone. I wasn't going to get married. It was just going to be me and God. We're going to figure this thing out. We're going to focus on me and him. No longer marriage was going to be a part of my walk. I was celibate for a whole year, and it was no problem for me, not at all. And when I encountered Tony and had that first attraction, I wasn't planning on having a relationship with him, and he wasn't planning on it. We thought we could just talk. I just thought, okay, he can be my friend. He can hold me. He can comfort me, and I'll be okay. I can hold this. I can control that. We're just going to cuddle. I need to be cuddled. I needed to be held. I went through a lot of horrible things, and I just need somebody to comfort me. Didn't sound bad. Sounded like, okay. And so that was the second step. And then he would touch me a little bit. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. Yeah, I can handle this. We're both adults. It's okay. And and then quickly from there, a kiss, and it was, before long we were in the bed. The more I let him in, the more I was sliding down that compromised life. After a while, when I couldn't give it up, because like Dave said one time, sin doesn't, you always think it's going to feel bad. It didn't feel bad. I mean, it felt bad afterwards, but it didn't feel bad when I was doing it. And I got really, in a sense, I didn't want to give it up. I thought, I don't want to be alone. I want something. And I thought, I deserve it. After all that I had gone through, I deserve this. I kept justifying it to myself, and it was wrong. And I knew it was wrong. I knew the scriptures too well. I knew what God expected of me, but yet I couldn't seem to stop. And that's where that really horrible feeling, and I think I totally began to understand how people get addicted to things and how bad they feel about stuff, but they don't seem to have the strength to stop. I was living this lie, and it ate at me. I stopped doing ministry. I pulled away from so many people because I was trying to hide this sin that I wasn't really ready to give up. And then God sort of decided that we were going to have a talk. And I was expecting him to come in with his wrath. And I knew I would stand there and take it because I deserved it. And I wasn't expecting his compassion. I wasn't expecting him to say, I miss you, come back to me. That broke me. And that was when I decided, who did I want more? Did I want my relationship with God restored? Or did I want to continue this relationship with my boyfriend at that time? And I realized that God was too rich in my life. I couldn't lose him. And I was going to be sad and I was going to be alone, but I had to let that go, and I did. And I walked away, and that was my restoration back to God. And I remember the first night that even though I was sad about my relationship with Tony being over, I was back with God, and there was such an inner peace that could not be explained. That inner peace was what I was missing. You can't sin, you can't live in that life and have peace. You cannot have it. It doesn't coincide with it. And I didn't realize I had lost that. Didn't realize it until I got it back, that's what I had given up.